The National Soccer Coaches Association of America, the world's largest soccer coaches organization, is dedicated to providing the best in soccer coaching education and membership services and benefits. To learn more, visit NSCAA.com. And the NSCAA is also proud to host the weekly college highlights and ranking show right here on NSCAA TV. A reminder that rankings will now be exclusively released on Tuesdays during this review show and can be posted on NSCAATV.com/rankings following the show. And guess what? This week's show is coming to you right now. And we've got a new number one in Division I women. Anson Dorn's 22 titles. Randy Waldrom's got 2, and Notre Dame's Morgan Andrews, the number 1 recruit in the country, finishing in the first half against a stunned North Carolina team at Fetzer Field. And then Crystal Dunn, the all-world player. She was dominant in the second half, trying to score so many times. And guess what? She did score. This one off the crossbar, bounces in by a foot, but neither the referee or the assistant referee saw it. And Notre Dame would go on to a 1-0 win in Chapel Hill. Notre Dame has now beaten UNC a record 6 times, 5 of them in Chapel Hill. Hello, everybody. I'm Dean Lincoln. What a great way to kick it off. A huge game on Sunday as we now have a new number 1 team in the nation. We'll get to that in just a moment as we break down Division 1, 2, 3, junior college, and NAIA with women. And Sari Rose will take a visit with the Colorado women's soccer team, as well as Division 2 powerhouse West Florida on the women's side. And then we'll welcome in Charlie Slago to break down the men's side. And we'll visit with the Akron Zips, a big-time program. We'll also catch up with the head coach of Tyler Junior College, Steve Clemens, as they are number 1 again. That and so much more right here on the NSCAA Weekly Highlights and Review Show. What a great way to kick it off, though, Sari Rose, as we welcome you in, former goalkeeper for Wake Forest. Notre Dame comes into the ACC. They come into Chapel Hill, and a stunner, albeit Crystal Dunn with a clear goal, and they just missed it.
Well, you know, Notre Dame put up a great game. The fact that Crystal Dunn scored and it was called back is just unbelievable. She's been dominant from all year, and a terrible loss for Carolina, but you've got to get it done despite the refs not going your way.
All right, let's take a look here at the Division I top 10. And with North Carolina losing to Notre Dame, that means we've got a new number 1 team. And lo and behold, we stay in the ACC, the Virginia Cavaliers.
The Cavaliers are the new number 1 team. They beat Syracuse 3-0 in their only game last week. Although the story is Morgan Bryan, who's having an amazing team with the national team, you've got to talk about the fact that Morgan Stearns is the only true freshman to start in goal for them and is having a fantastic year. At 2, Stanford has talked about their non-conference play as an evolution, with each game adding another dimension. On Sunday, they beat Iowa State 3-1 and recorded a season-high 31 shots. And then at 8, I like Florida. Last week, the Gators played 2 tough non-conference opponents. Freshman Savannah Jordan netted a pair of goals to lift the Gators past the undefeated Minnesota Gophers.
All right, we'll flip to the second 10 here as Penn State and Georgetown rounded out. BYU at number 11.
You know, BYU's dropped down to 11. They really struggled last week. The Cougars tied Cat Mertz's Oregon Ducks on Thursday and then lost to the UC Irvine Anteaters on Saturday. They're really going to need to regroup as they take on Oklahoma and Long Beach State this week. At 17, South Carolina's heading into SEC play with an impressive 7-0-1 record. What's even more noteworthy is the Gamecocks have only conceded 1 goal the entire season.
All right, and our final 5 here in the top 25. You got Maryland, Santa Clara, Virginia Tech, Wisconsin, and West Virginia.
Let's talk a little bit about Paula Wilkins' Badgers, who had 2 solid wins this past week, beating Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and then Loyola Chicago. Freshman Rose Lavelle has been tearing apart the competition, though, and has had a goal or an assist in 5 of the 7 games for the Badgers.
Also getting points prior to their 3-0 loss to Denver was the Colorado Buffaloes women's soccer team. Danny Sanchez doing a great job in Boulder, Colorado. Let's take a look at the Buffaloes women's soccer team.
Hello and welcome to This Week in Colorado Soccer at our new home at the beautiful Fate Brewing Company right here in Boulder, Colorado. I'm your host, Sam Newman, alongside CU head coach Danny Sanchez. And coach, it was kind of a crazy weekend here in Boulder. The game that was scheduled between Colorado Buffaloes and the University of Denver, originally scheduled to be here in Boulder, but because of the flooding, had to be moved to DU, and obviously we thank the University of Denver for accommodating on such short notice. But when something like that happens, it was a very highly anticipated game, but you had 6 players that were displaced by the flooding here in Boulder, and while we're thankful everybody was safe, it kind of makes you take a step back and appreciate how the whole community can come together and focus on the important things.
Soccer's so insignificant with what the people in the community and the surrounding communities are going through. So yeah, our players and some of their families have had some issues, but we'll work through those. We're getting great support from the administration, from the school as a whole, and obviously within our program, our players. So they'll be fine. You know, that we could have probably played in Boulder, but it just wasn't safe and it wasn't the right thing to do. So we're glad we were able to get the game in. It didn't end the way we wanted to, but big picture, we're glad we played, and now we move forward.
Get into the game. Both teams come into the game 6-0. Denver ranked 16th overall. You know, they look like it too. The Buffs had some chances, just couldn't convert. And DU's goalkeeper played very well, freshman Cassidy Ray, and ends 3-0 in Pioneer's favor.
Yeah, I mean, the first half was very even. I think both teams were kind of feeling each other out, had good chances. Second half, they got the goal, went up 1-0. I think after that, we played really well. Annie Stoller hit the post. And then really the play of the match, I think, on the rebound, Bree Hooks hit a shot into an empty net, and their goalkeeper came out of nowhere and made the save. And that was, I think, kind of the turning point. At the end of the game, last 2 minutes, we pushed everybody forward, so they scored 2 goals in the last 2 minutes, which is fine. It's a little bit of a kick in the gut, but a loss is a loss, and at the end of the day, Denver deserved to win. But I'm pleased with how we responded, and with all the adversity throughout the week. You know, it's our 7th game of the season. You know, there's 13 games to play, so we know there's still a lot to play for.
Absolutely, still a great start with the Buffaloes at 6-1 after that game. We talked to CU goalkeeper Annie Bruner after the game.
I think this is the first time both of our programs have been 6-0. You know, DU's 15th, 16th, whatever poll you look at right now. So they're a decent team, right up there with Pac-12 teams that we're going to play. So, I mean, their record shows that they're a good team. Our record shows that we're a good team. Like I said, I just think a couple things fall our way, and it's a completely different game.
Coach, this weekend you actually will be at home. Things are clearing up here in Boulder. We'll be ready to go. You have the Omni Hotels Colorado Soccer Classic. You have Stony Brook on Friday at 4 o'clock, and then UNLV on Sunday at 1:30. What can we look forward to in those two?
Well, beautiful sunny weather in Boulder. It's finally breaking. The weather looks great throughout the weekend, so we're just excited to be back home and get to kind of back into a normal routine.
Coach, good luck this weekend.
Thanks, Sam.
That's going to do it for us, but for all things CU soccer, just go to cubuffs.com/soccer. For NSCAA, I'm Sam Newman.
All right, and of course, the Division I Disney Soccer Women's Player of the Week is Maya Hayes from Penn State. She posted 4 goals and 1 assist 3 games last week. The senior notched the game-winning goals against both Oklahoma State and Tulsa. Congratulations to Maya Hayes, the Disney Soccer NSCAA Women's Division I Player of the Week. And of course, the NSCAA Highlights and Ranking Show is presented by Continental Tire. Continental Tire, innovative technology, driving confidence. Find out more at continentaltire.com.
Hey, Miss C. Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. I just don't want you boys to be late for your big game. Okay, have fun. I'll be right here after the game.
Continental Tire, the official tire of Major League Soccer.
Tra-la-la, tra-la-tra-la.
Welcome back to the Continental Tire Studios as part of the NSCAA Weekly College Highlights and Review Show. Dean Linke with you. We've already talked about the Women's Division I. Now we're going to roll into Division II, but we're going to start with the Player of the Week. And last week it was a goalkeeper that was outstanding. As we take a look here now at Jackie Lohman From the University of Southern Indiana, the sophomore goalkeeper helped the Eagles to a pair of wins and a double overtime scoreless tie and a 2-0-1 overall week and a 1-0-1 start to the GLVZ schedule. Congratulations to Jackie Lohman, your NSCAA Disney Soccer Division II Women's Player of the Week. And we welcome back Sari Rose now as we break down Division II. And you take a look at the Division II rankings. Grand Valley State is number 1.
Yep, they're going to remain number 1 after an impressive 2-0 win versus Minnesota State. The Lakers got goals by junior Charlie Sosha and freshman Kendra Staffer, who got her first collegiate goal. At number 6, I like East Stroudsburg. The Warriors are 4-0 for the first time since 1995 and move up from number 15. What's even more impressive, though, is the fact that senior goalkeeper Brittany Wagner has led the defense that has yet to concede a goal this season.
At number 10, Joe Bartlinski's West Florida team is always a power to be reckoned with, and we took a deeper look at the West Florida women's soccer team.
This is Chris Elkins with the University of West Florida women's soccer coach, Joe Bartlinski, reporting for NSCAA.TV. Coach Bartlinski coming off his 400th win of his career this weekend. Coach, what does it take to win 400 throughout your career?
You got to be around a long time, so you have to be old, and then you have to have a lot of talent over the years. And we've been blessed to have the talent at Brevard College and then at the University of West Florida, and that's really been the key to get the quality players to those great institutions.
Coach, in 13 seasons at UWF, you picked up 205 of those wins. What makes UWF so special, and how have you been able to be successful?
The most important part is the academic side. UWF has graduated 6 astronauts, and that's just a sample of the quality education that we have down our way. I think another important part is the location. We're at the United States' most beautiful beaches, and we use that a lot in our recruiting, and we use it a lot during our training in preseason, taking our team down there and kayaking and fishing and doing a lot of special things down at the beach. So having the great academics, having the great location, and then having the quality soccer. Jody Ann Robinson, one of our former student athletes, just played in the women's NWSL championship final. We've had 6 players this past summer play in Europe, and some of those players were leading their respective leagues in scoring. And so the great education, the great location, and the great soccer, I feel has helped us get the next generation of players, that has helped us in continuing the successes of our program.
Coach, you have a unique mindset that some other teams don't always take. You like to have a little bit of fun in the preseason, and then when the season gets here, you stay focused game by game. Can you talk about that mindset?
We like to do things a little bit differently here. A lot of people, when they view our videos, think that we're on the Travel Channel, and we think that's such a great thing to give the students a great opportunity to explore other things. We just got finished taking a summer cruise to the Caribbean and playing different national teams like Jamaica and the Cayman Islands national team. But we also swam around Stingray City and walked up and down Dunn's River Falls. Last year we took a preseason trip to Brevard, North Carolina in the mountains and jumped off rocks and into the rivers. I think it's important that we focus on the journey. The destination is always going to be there. Trying to fight and win another national title is always going to be there. But I want these youngsters to have a great journey. And each game, when we travel, we look to do some unique things. And here in Orlando, just playing soccer tennis in the parking lot is something different. And when other teams are focusing on running at 6:30 in the morning and doing weights, we're having our players rested and getting ready for their academic day. Because at the end of the day, it's the 4-year degree that will matter. But in between all those battles, all those wins, we want to have a little bit of enjoyment. And again, we'll continue to focus on the journey throughout these times.
Joe Bartlinski living the life down in West Florida. Let's take a look here now at NCAA Women Division III rankings, Sari.
The top 3 still remain the same, but the College of New Jersey moves up from number 7 to number 4. Joe Russo is no stranger to success, though. In his 24th season at the helm of TCNJ, he has qualified for 22 straight NCAA tournaments. And then if you look at number 8, the judges of Brandeis University also remain unbeaten and are averaging 3.2 goals per game. Junior Safir Ediladi is responsible for 6 of those goals and an assist on the season. Although the judges have dominated the early season, they face a tough UAA conference schedule starting in October, where they'll face at least 3 top 25 teams.
And your NSCAA Disney Soccer Division III Women's Player of the Week is Hannah Cronick from Johns Hopkins. This week, Cronick receives her 2nd consecutive NSCAA Disney Soccer Player of the Week honor. How about that? The junior scored 3 goals over the weekend for Johns Hopkins, including the game-winning goal in overtime against Stevenson. Congratulations to Hannah Cronick. All right, now we roll to the junior college level here on NSCAA TV, and we'll start with Junior College Women Division I, Sari.
Paradise Valley Community College remains undefeated atop the nation. The Pumas have outscored their opponents 29-5, and Nicole Nasai has 11 goals and 4 assists. She was a standout performer for the Slammers of FC, Southern California. At number 9, the Lady Cavaliers of Darton College from Georgia are also 7-0. Kevin Velens started the program 14 years ago, and Ken has produced a consistent regional power.
All right, we'll take a look now at the Junior College Women Division III.
You know, we have to look at the SUNY Brome Hornets, who are 5-0. Not only are they averaging 5 goals a game, but they haven't conceded a goal all season long. Danielle Terrell leads the team right now with 11 goals on the season. And at number 5, I have to give some love to Brookdale Community College in my hometown of Lincroft, New Jersey. The Jersey Blues suffered a loss to Finger Lake Community College this year, but they've had a stellar start to the season.
Little hometown love from the Jersey girls, Sari Rose. Let's take a look now at NAIA women, Sari.
On Saturday, number 2 Vanguard downed number 8 Mobile 2-0 in the NAIA Women's Soccer Match of the Week. Lillian Ruiz, a sophomore transfer from Fresno City College, broke the ice in the 61st minute by way of a cross from junior Veronica Aguilar. Mobile added an own goal in the 76th minute, sealing the victory for Vanguard. Taryn Pardo, who leads the NAIA in total assists with 10 on the season, recorded an NAIA best 5 assists in a single game against Northwestern Ohio on Saturday. Pardo also added 3 goals in the Racers' 12-0 rout of Rio Grande.
The NAIA is the leader in character-driven intercollegiate athletics. The NAIA Champions of Character program was first established in 2001 and continues to evolve. The CFC program provides training for student athletes and professional development for coaches and staff. The 5 core values of integrity, respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, and servant leadership are put into play and accounted for at NAIA schools. For more information, go to championsofcharacter.org. The women are in the books. Congratulations to Virginia, now number 1 at Division I, and what a big weekend it was. And I'll tell you, it's just getting better as now conference play heating up, Sari.
Yeah, the ACC already started. The SEC starts this week. We're going to start to see those games where you think you're going in with a clear-cut chance to win it, and then all of a sudden you had an upset by a team that's ranked lower in the conference. So I'm excited for the start of all the conferences this week, and I think it's going to be fun the rest of the season.
All right, Sari Rose, we'll say goodbye to her. When we come back, we'll be joined by former and longtime Davidson coach Charlie Slago to break down men's college soccer across the board right here on the NSCAA College Highlights and Ranking Show presented by Continental Tire.
We're adding a second distribution center. So instead of moving it, we're putting every floor in every store on sale at Lumber Liquidators' first ever warehouse clearance sale. Get 20% off all laminate flooring. Pre-finished solid hardwood up to 55% less than big box stores. All bamboo is on sale from $139 a square foot with new deals added daily. Plus, get 16 months special financing. Warehouse clearance sale is going on now. Get to your local Lumber Liquidators today.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
Welcome back to the NSCAA College Highlights and Rankings Show presented by Continental Tire. The women are in the books. Now it's time to talk men's college soccer. Big-time matchups this weekend, including Maryland coming into Chapel Hill for their final time as a member of the ACC. Nearly 4,400 in attendance for that one as number 2 UNC took on number 18 Maryland. It ended in a 2-2 tie, and it sounded a little bit like this.
Here's Mullins. What a flick. Eyes in the back of the head. Schuma drops it back. Metzger and Schuma with the shot, and Schuma with the goal, and the Terps on top, 1-0.
And it all started from a flick on from Mullins on the outside. You see the pass come over. There's the ball played over to Metzger. The ball gets popped back, and there's Schuma, and he finishes in perfect Maryland style there.
Vandermaas, Peeler, and McCrary making the run from the left back around Metzger. Oh, he goes down. They'll point to the spot. Penalty kick, Tar Heels. On cue, right foot, hammered, and it's tied at 1. Doesn't even need to jump to win that even over the big man Rice. How about the play of Holness? Holness now, chewing up real estate. Holness could crack it. Holness does, keeps it down. Are you kidding me? Omar Holness, 50 yards plus and in.
Brilliant run by Omar Holness. He gets away from the defender, and here he comes and just takes the space, puts it on his left, and just curls it into the corner. A beautiful goal by Holness.
Under 9 minutes to go in the first half. 3 goals already, 2 of them to the home team, overcoming a 1-0 deficit. Are you kidding me? Schuma with the goal, and he's got 2.
Nice touch from Schuma. Great left foot, right into the corner, tied up again.
The referee. Here's Jane again. Jane with his left foot. Punched out of there. Back across again. Big time save. And again, now over the crossbar and standing over it, Cooper Vandermaas Peeler. He'll take it with his right. Booms it high. And a strike back over the crossbar, falling to Williams.
And there's Williams. He just sets it down. It sits up nicely for him and just misses that far top left corner. Yeah, and a great game for both teams. I mean, just a strong first half, Dean. Things kind of slowed down a little bit there, and it ends in a tie.
You see Carlos Samuano and, of course, Sasha Swarovski shaking hands right there as we welcome in Charlie Slagle, the longtime Davidson coach and CEO now of the Capital Area Soccer League. Some Castle kids playing in that game as well. North Carolina surviving that tie, Charlie. Now as we roll to the top 10 here, interestingly, UNC right back up there again.
They're still up there despite that. In last week's top 10, only Notre Dame didn't have either a loss or a tie. It's amazing the parity in this Division I soccer. And so you have Notre Dame got a 3-0 victory over Syracuse. This week they play Michigan and Boston College. The team that moved up the most, Cal State Northridge, goes from 11 to number 3, Terry Davila. They had a win against Central Arkansas 4-1, but then they won at New Mexico 3-2. Then you look at some of the other teams in the top. You've got St. John's, who moved up from 12. They're now 5-1-0. They beat South Carolina and West Virginia by identical 1-0 scores. Wake Forest moved up from 15 with a 3-2 victory against UVA. And VCU, Dave Gifford's team, they beat Akron 1-0 and they beat Niagara 1-0 to move up from 19th.
Yeah, well done by VCU. They also have a Maryland victory in there as well. Let's take a look at the second 10.
Second 10, Clemson. I was at this game. Clemson beat NC State 1-0. 29 seconds into the game, Sanchez scores, and they end up holding on to win 1-0. They play UNCG and Maryland this week. And then also, looking at Northwestern, Tim Linehan's team, they beat Wisconsin Green Bay 4-0, beat Butler 2-0 as they moved up from 24 to 16.
Georgetown at 19, UAB at 20, Maryland at 17, Akron Zips here at 15. They'll be featured in a week from now as they got a big game against the Ohio State Buckeyes right here on NSCAA TV. And don't forget Saturday night, Loyola and UMBC, the Karinji tandem, father and son, will be featured right here on NSCAA TV. But back to the Akron Ohio State game, the Zips, now with a new coach, Jared Embick, replacing the legendary Caleb Porter, legendary at a young age. Let's take a closer look at the Akron Zips.
For NSCAA TV, reporting from the University of Akron, home of the Akron Zips and the AK Rowdies. Since 2005, the University of Akron men's soccer team has posted the #1 winning percentage in all of Division I. This dominant run through college soccer culminated with back-to-back trips to the NCAA finals and the school's first national championship at any sport in 2010. Fueled by some of the best recruiting classes in the country, the Zips rewrote their record book while playing an attractive and attack-oriented system that is effective on both sides of the ball. Caleb Porter was the lead architect at Akron before becoming the head coach of Major League Soccer's Portland Timbers in December. Zips did not have to look far for his successor. Jared Embeck served as Porter's top assistant and recruiting coordinator, and he inherits a team that he has helped lead to the NCAA's round of 16 in each of the past 5 seasons. I recently sat down with Coach Embeck to talk about his transition as the head coach. I'm joined with head coach Jared Embeck. Coach, as we are in your first season as head coach of the Zips program, how have the past 6 seasons working underneath Caleb Porter really helped develop you in this stage of your career?
For me, he was a great leader, strong motivator, man manager. For me, that was probably what I needed to learn the most. And, he's a great, obviously, tactician as well. So I got to work with him hand in hand every day. And, when you have those opportunities, I took them seriously. And every day I tried to learn why he did things. And, I do feel like from being a head coach before to working under him and now being a head coach, again, I'm much more prepared and ready for the opportunity.
How have you handled the balance between keeping what's been successful in past seasons and putting your own stamp on the program?
Yeah, we've won more games than anybody in the last 7 years, so I think for me, I don't need to change a lot. I need to continue to evolve and adapt what we've done here to stay on top of what teams are trying to do to stop us or surpass us as the top program in the country. And so that's been our goal, to kind of find ways to keep our style, keep our philosophy, yet adapt to continue to win games. And, that's going to be an ongoing thing for the next several years.
And now Herman Trophy candidate and senior striker Ronaldo Brenes. He had a breakout season last year, and he's already off to a great start this fall. How important is he to the program, and how much has he grown?
He's just a tremendous person, he's a captain. His leadership is great. Off the field, everybody loves him. And on the field, he's a leader by example. He works very hard. Sometimes we have to take him out of training because he works so hard just to make sure he's fit for games. And on the field, he's gotten, as he's gotten more healthy, his talents have started to show. And maybe we've now played him in a position of his strength, which is striker. And yeah, he's got a couple goals right now, but I think he'd be the first to tell you that he hasn't found his form yet, which is good news for the Zips fans, because once he does, we're going to be scoring a lot more goals.
And lastly, what does the NSCAA mean to you?
I think it's an organization that has provided great opportunities to coaches through, their education programs, the convention where we get opportunity to learn and sit down with other coaches and, trade ideas, watch them work. It's been invaluable to me as a coach to throughout my career to develop, and I look forward to what they continue to have plans for other coaches and myself in the future.
For NSCAA TV, I'm Chrissy Perbonic from the University of Akron.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. And today's interviews with Akron coach Jared Embeck and all the other interviews on this show are presented by Shattuck St. Mary's, a college prep boarding school with a full-time residential soccer center of excellence for boys and girls and a member of the U.S. Soccer Development Academy. To learn more, visit www.s-sm.org. We're still not done with the top 25 as we took that break to tell you about that Akron-Ohio State game. There is UMBC at number 21, Charlie.
UMBC last week beat Radford 4-1. The Caringies, as you say, are going to be playing Loyola. 5 teams out of 200-plus teams in Division I are undefeated now. That's all after 3 weeks. You have UMBC, Clemson, and Northridge that are in the top 25, and then you have Dayton, who has 5-0 victory or 5-0 record, and Army at 5-0.
All right, let's take a look now at the Disney Soccer NSCAA Division I Men Player of the Week, and it's Mr. Corbols from Rutgers. He led the Scarlet Knights to a 2-0 week behind an 8-point effort on 3 goals and 2 assists. A big week for Mr. Corbols from Rutgers. Congratulations, the Disney Soccer NSCAA Player of the Week. All right, let's roll on here now to the Division II rankings. Charlie Slago, who do you like?
At Rollins, number 3, they've got 14 goals for, 4 against. They play Fort Tech and Eckerd this week. Keith Buckley in his 23rd year, 261, 127, and 24. They're led by Rafa Feria, 4 goals and 1 assist. He's a senior from Miami. And then also Notre Dame College, who is from Euclid, Ohio, 3 road victories in their 5-0-0 record, and they are their goalkeeper Jan Skoryupinski, a senior from Vaud, Germany, has done a great job, and also Tom Owens from Liverpool, England, also a senior, and that's for Mac McBride's team, who has led this team all 13 years that they have been around.
That's a look at your Division II top 10. Let's look at the Division II Men's Player of the Week. It's Kevin Durant from Lander University by way of France. He's on fire last week, scoring 5 goals and adding 2 assists in 2 Lander wins. He opened up with a goal and assist in a 6-0 win, then pummeled North Greenville with 4 goals and another assist for 9 points. Congratulations to Kevin Durant, the forward from Lander University, and your NSCAA Disney Soccer Player of the Week at the Division II level. Let's roll on here now to Division III men's soccer, and we'll start as you take a look there at the Player of the Week, Chris Wysocki. He led the Carnegie Mellon men's soccer team to 2 1-0 victories this week to improve to 5-1 on the season. With 48 seconds left to play, Wysocki headed home the game winner to lift his team to a 1-0 win over Geneva. Congratulations to Chris Wysocki as we roll in now to the Division III rankings, Charlie.
And we're going to start right with on the top at Messiah. Brad McCarty's team, 13 years on the bench, 5 as head coach. He's got a 93-3-3 record. Wow, that is unbelievable. Beat Claremont Mudd Scripps in Gettysburg last week. Joshua Wood is got 5 goals. He's a senior from Kingsport, Tennessee. Then we go to the Lord Jeffs, Amherst. They are 4-0-0. They have Justin Serponi as the coach there. They have had a great year so far. Beat Bowdoin last week 3-0, and they have Conn College and their big battle with Williams and Mike Russo coming up this week.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Williams because they came in last week at number 2, but they lost to Trinity on a golden goal. And, of course, we have the highlight right here on this special program. All right, a great goal right there. We also saw Ohio Northern at number 9. They've got a big matchup against Ohio Westland coming up this week as well. Let's take another and deeper look at the Ohio Northern men's soccer team.
Last season was obviously a great run for us. We had some amazing leadership. Our seniors had played in several NCAA tournaments and had played in big games. And I think when we got to the NCAA tournament, I think that they weren't too nervous about the situation that they were in, and confident that we could play for a national championship and win the whole thing.
Definitely the biggest part of us being successful in getting the national championship was how tight our group was. It was a battle on the field, and we were with our brothers, and that's kind of the mentality that we had on and off the field. It was team first. We put each other before ourselves, and I think as far as the success for this year, that's kind of what we're getting back to this year is sort of the brotherhood mentality of we win together and we're there for each other, we're fighting for each other, and the name on the front of our jersey is all that matters.
The makeup of our team is totally different than it was last season. I think when we started last season, we had almost every returning starter back, or at least guys that were stepping into starting roles that had been major contributors in our program before. And this season's completely different. It's the complete opposite of that, which is fun as a coach to have both ends of that spectrum. And this year we're trying to still put the pieces together. We think we've got a good nucleus of returners that have played in those big games and played in the national championship game, but we've also got a great group of first-year players that haven't experienced those types of games before. So it's a great mixture of new guys and with the excitement of this is their first chance of playing at this level, and guys that have been there before that are teaching them this is what it's going to need, this is what needs to be done for us to get to that level again.
We're such a deep team. It's been a phenomenal season already of guys being able to come off the bench, and we don't even lose a step. So that's the biggest positive from this season. That's the thing that's got us most excited is how deep we are as a program. And then as a leader especially, just making sure the guys are focused, making sure the guys know that every person on this team is important and that our depth is what's going to make us successful. 5-0 tomorrow, boys. Here we go. 2 up 3. 1, 2, 3.
Tra la la, tra la, tra la. Pleasure.
Rolling on at the Continental Tire Studios, part of the NSCAA College Highlights and Ranking Show. Dean Linke still with Charlie Slago. Now let's talk NAIA, another big week in NAIA action, Charlie.
Yes, it was a big week in NAIA. Unranked teams toppled both number 1 and number 2. Number 1, Mobile, and number 2, Hannibal LaGrange. Mobile, of course, from Alabama, and Hannibal LaGrange from Missouri. Unranked Vanguard from California defeated Mobile 3-0 on Saturday. The upset was Vanguard's first win against a number 1 ranked opponent in any sport. Unranked Robert Morris from Illinois defeated number 2 Hannibal LaGrange 1-0 on a 53rd minute goal from 2012 All-American honorable mention Gordy Gerson. But number 3 Southern Polytechnic 2-1 win over Northwood. Coach Com Mamini's team was down 1 goal, got goals in the 67th and 69th, so 2 minutes apart, Kirk DeBoer and Chase Sullivan, and they opened their conference play, and I think they have 13 straight games at Spring Hill.
All right, let's reverse it here and start with Division III on the junior college level, as we'll end with Division I. First with Division III, Charlie.
In Division III, Herkimer County Community College hasn't played many games so far, but they, with Pepe Aragon, who has a record of 282, 26, and 14 in his career, they play against SUNY Adirondack this week, who is also in the top 10. And then number 3, Suffolk County Community College, they beat Westboro of Manhattan 2-1. Andre Brown had both goals for Frank Verturo's team. Frank is in his 7th year, 72, 3-6 in his career.
All right, now let's roll to junior college men's Division I, our last rankings to look at here today's show.
And let's go at number 3 and look at Iowa Western, 8-0-0. They have played last time against Marshalltown 3-0 and Indian Hills 3-0. Elias Hatton Amano from West Valley City, Utah, has been leading that team. Also look at number 10, the Peninsula College Pirates. They're from Port Angeles, Washington. The only tie was a tie versus Kwantlen Polytechnic University 2-2. Andrew Chapman's the coach there, and he's in his 11th year. They're being led by Ash Apollon and Alex Martinez.
And of course, you set me up perfect for Tyler Junior College. They always seem to be right up there. They've won 3 out of the last 4 national championships, and they're led by the very personable Steve Clemens, and I was able to catch up with him earlier in the week. And here we are now joined by Steve Clemens, now in his 11th season at the wonderful Tyler Junior College. All they've done is won 3 of the last 4 junior college national championships. In fact, Coach Steve Clemens has 4. He won one in 2000 with Meridian. Steve, we're delighted to have you on the program.
Thank you much, Dean. Glad to be here.
All right, let's talk about this soccer powerhouse that you built at Tyler. What an amazing run you've had the last 4 years. A dream run, right?
It's no question about it. It has been an incredible run for us. Obviously been lucky with some very, very good players and some very good people around the program, and obviously a great administration and a good campus and a good school. And so, it's just all, it's all channeled right here lately for us. It's all been the ball's been rolling in the right direction.
Well, and you really are a true spokesman, though, for junior college soccer, serving as the president of the National Junior College Soccer Coaches Association. Why is junior college such a great way for these players to develop both on the field and off, Coach?
Well, one of the things that I say to, players that are coming into our program, so many times they, you can start at a 2-year school, and your expenses are not as great, because the schools are just less money, and it gives you a chance to learn the system. In other words, in our case, a lot of times a player will come in and 1 or 2 schools have recruited them, and many times they'll leave us, and by the time they're a sophomore here, then all of a sudden they've got 10 schools chasing them, and so it's just 2 more years to develop. And you're doing it at a reasonable cost. And again, you're learning the system, just the college system, and you can make a better, more informed decision, I feel like, in many cases after 2 years than you can coming straight out of high school.
All right, 2009, 2010, 2012. What do you got to do to win it again here in 2013, Coach?
Well, gosh, I mean, so much has to come together for you to get that opportunity. I tell teams all the time that so many times, if you look at teams, you've always got, we've been fortunate enough here to have very good players for a lot of years, and the teams that have separated themselves and won it have traditionally been the ones that do the best off the field as well. The ones that are doing well in the classroom, the ones that are doing well with each other, and the social dynamic part of it. And, those teams are the ones that come together. And then, of course, when you get to a national tournament, all that, the wrong injury on the wrong day or the wrong yellow card or the wrong this or that, so much has to come together and luck-wise. But as long as the team works hard every day, and I always kid them nowadays, I'm kind of the work police. I just make sure we work hard every day at training. I want them to, and I think if we do that, then the rest will, hey, we'll have our opportunity, and if it happens, that's great, and certainly what we're shooting for.
Finally, Steve, I know you've always made it about the team, but you were inducted to the Men's Soccer Coaches Hall of Fame in 2009. What did that honor mean to you?
Well, I told a couple of my friends, I think it just means you're getting old because you've been around long enough to do that. But no, it's much appreciated. It means a lot, but it also means that you've been fortunate enough to be around so many good people and so many good players, and it's a blast to hear back from them and keep up with them and all those things. That's it was special, and I appreciate it.
All right, we'll be thinking about you all year as we go around the country calling Division I games. We're sure we're going to see a few Tyler junior college players playing on the field at the Division I level, and we'll be thinking about you, Coach.
Thank you much. We appreciate it big time.
And that's the understatement of the year, as St. John's has had some great players that have come from Tyler. I mean, Tim Baumsteig has built a program out there as well at Santa Barbara as he continues to sprinkle them all over the place. South Florida with George Kiefer has played a key role. With his effect, Division I rolling along. There's some surprises. Your pick, actually, Maryland, if they lose to Clemson, they won't be ranked.
Yeah, after 6 games, I think you have to be over 500, and Clemson is 5-0, and they're playing home to Maryland. Do they look past them? They play UNC Greensboro during the week, so it should be interesting to see what Maryland can do. Maryland's had an unbelievably tough schedule, and they're still my pick to win it all, but they're going to have to get it together and get some W's.
Sasha Sorosky does such a great job there. What a great show here. I want to thank everybody involved, including our sponsors, Lumber Liquidators, Shattuck St. Mary's, Continental Tire, and Soccer.com. I want to thank all the SIDs for participating, especially West Florida and Akron, Tyler Junior College, Colorado, and Ohio Northern for sending in those special pieces as well. All the good folks back at the NSCAA, including Kathleen Hermish, who does a great job with the graphics. I want to thank Kyle Lang and Taylor Hoggard and our fine crew, Sari Rose and Charlie Slagle. I'm Dean Lincoln, reminding you about our next NSCAA College Highlights and Ranking Show coming to you next week at this time, Tuesday, September 24th. I can't wait. Don't forget, big matchup this Saturday, UMBC and Loyola on NSCAATV.com, and we'll be in Akron after this show next Tuesday for the Akron Zips and the Ohio State Buckeyes, leading up to a Friday night matchup between UC Santa Barbara and Stanford. How much fun is that? Of course, this broadcast of the Weekly College Highlights and Ranking Show was presented by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America. The NSCAA works every day to inspire coaches and ignite their passion for the game so that they pass it on to their players and others in the soccer community. That goal is fulfilled through 3 core values: learn, participate, belong. To learn more, visit nscaa.com.